Hello friends, we have a couple minutes, but I wanted to click it on for those who are new to Facebook Live videos. Today you're going to need some light weights and then a towel, like a beach towel, a bath towel, some towel to use. All right, we have a couple peeps. So light weights, if you don't have weights, it's okay, because the arm movements we'll be doing today, trust me, you'll feel even if you don't have them. But if you have something that will work as a weight, feel free to grab it. All right, you're going to need a towel. We're going to use it as a fun tool. I'm going to roll mine up, so you'll need it like a jelly roll. All right, remove weight. One more minute, and then so today it's my fundamentals class. So this class was born out of a lot of people who were giving me feedback for my beginner class that I posted and wanting to know more, having a lot of questions, and so I thought, why don't I just take it back to like the basic fundamentals? And that doesn't mean easy, but just explaining in a sense what the Pilates method is and what to look for in our own body. Right, so while we're moving, often I'll get questions like, I don't know, are my shoulders right? Where are my ribs? Where are my hips? And I feel like the way I'm going to break it down will really help. Okay, so what I'm going to teach you today, it's about your box, right? Not your box, right? That's my Pilates Pussy classes, but your box. All right, and I have a couple little visuals. So I want you to identify first standing where your hip bones are, right? I'm going to put a couple little stickers here, so then you can see where my hips are, right? So find where your hips are, find where your ribs are, like the base of your ribs. Right, I'll grab the same color, right? And then from there, where your shoulders are, right? So think like kind of right where like the tips of your collarbones are. We'll see if these stick. Oh, but I want them all to line up so it'll make sense. All right, so there's a sticker. All right, here's a little sticker. All right, so when I talk about our box, let me move this one in a little bit. This is what I want you to think of, right? The points of your shoulders, the points of your ribs, the points of your hips. And I'm gonna lose some of these. And then we also have our side body here. All right, so same thing here on the side, right? Where our hip is, right? So think kind of like if you go straight through, like right in the center, right? And where your rib is here on the side, right? For our side body, so when we do things on our side. All right, I'm not gonna put stickers on my back because I can't reach it back there, but if I'm in like a workshop or something like that, these same points go exactly to the back. Here, back, shoulders, right? So all things in Pilates, basically all it is we're talking about lines and how we move those lines, right? Whether we're keeping those lines straight, whether we're bending the lines, whether we're twisting the lines, right? So I don't come from a kinesiology or PT background. I actually come from an art background, right? Formerly an art teacher. And so when I watch bodies move, I think like, okay, where are the lines? Are they straight? Are we bending this one? Are we curving this one? All right, so anytime we're lying or if we're standing, right? Let's start there since we're standing. Stand with your feet hip distance apart and pay attention to where your hips are, right? Without correcting anything, like where are your hips, try to build awareness, where are your ribs, where are your shoulders. All right, I'm gonna turn to the side. All right, oh, this one needs to come back so it makes sense. All right, so when you're here, where are your hips, ribs? Now think of pulling your hips towards your ribs towards your hips. So what we're looking for is a long line on our side body. It's not a tuck under with a collapse because then our shoulders aren't straight anymore. We want everything to be in this nice long line. So when we're doing things, once we're lying down like hip circles, right, or leg circles, like where are the hips? Is it lifting, right? Is one collapsing? Is one rotating forward? We're going to look at these lines. So think of an image like if you were to put a bar, right, or a string something across, right? Is this one straight? Is it tilted? Right, same thing here. Is it straight? Is it tilting? Same thing with the hips, right? So try to have those visuals in mind. Same thing on the side body. Is it long, right? Not talking about my muscle tissue, right? Because I have a deep lumbar curve, but just thinking of my bone structure, right? Is my bone structure long? Is it collapsing? Is it bending, right? So it's about keeping the side body long, keeping all of this connected, right? And then we have our spine. I want you to imagine your spine, say like a spring or a tool that can bend and move, right? So when we're doing things like roll-ups, if we're lying down, right, it's straight, how is it rolling? How is it curling up? Because ideally it's articulating, it's finding that muscle connection by deepening our front body here to start to move and articulate through our spine, right? So our spine's been designed to move side to side, to move forward, to move back, to rotate, and then to also lengthen, right? Lengthening is the hardest fucking part of all the Pilates work. It takes time, right? So if you understand this sort of principle, like the box here, the long side body, all of a sudden the Pilates work becomes endless because we're just simply taking those lines and moving them, right? So starting standing, so hopefully some of those visuals help, and I'll keep addressing it back to like, where are your box? Where's your box? Where are your lines, right? So you're gonna stand up tall, right? You're gonna take a breath in. My shirt's a little crooked. Let's make sure everything's straight so my dots are straight. And then on the exhale, feel like you're gonna pull your ribs towards your hips to your ribs. So all that did, naturally I have a posture where my butt and belly want to stick out, right? I'm just pulling everything up. I'm connecting everything here, right? Abs are connected, right? The way we engage our abs, right? I want you to think of flexing your abs, like deepening that connection. Say if, you know, like you were going to get like punched in the stomach, right? You're just going to flex, you're going to pull in, right? So it's a solid base, right? It should feel like, okay, like regardless of whatever the rectus abdominis, your bumpy muscles on top are doing, this should feel solid and strong, right? Now for some of us, when we tend to do that, we tend to push down, right? You're pushing like you're pooping, but I want you to pull up, right? So that's that connection to the pelvic floor. It's the pull up, like you're holding your urine, like you're pulling your balls to your throat, right? You're pulling everything up and then flexing and holding. So then you have this solid base. I just kicked some of my little dots off. That's okay. All right, so let's take it to the mat. So think of those things, try to find those connections, right? Because I want to get to the movement. I could talk all day about breath and how we breathe, but you all didn't sign up for a workshop. You came to actually move your bodies. So lying down on the mat first. We're going to start with our knees bent. Just keep your towel close at hand. I'll have my little bar as a visual tool. Let me actually angle this down so you all can see me. That one will probably be a little better. There we go. All right, and we're going to start with our knees bent. Right, so anytime someone comes to me for private sessions, I always start them on the mat because I want to see how their lines are moving and where there's discrepancies, right? We all have different muscular patterns and strengths and weaknesses in our bodies because we live in our bodies. Okay, and this is where the Pilates work of always coming back to where's the line, where are those connections becomes essential. Right, so when you're lying down, right, think of the line of the hips, right, if I were to show you with the bar, right, make sure those are even. So the bar's not going to be rolling towards you, it's not going to be arching away, right, it's going to sit perfectly across, right, ribs, same thing, right, one's not higher or lower, same thing up here with the shoulders. Shoulders are square. All of us have one side that wants to dip or move. We're going to try to keep those points square. All right, so from here, you're going to connect into your abs, right? You're flexing your abs. You're pulling up, right? And then you're going to pull just your left knee into your chest. Now, when you're here, notice what tends to start to happen, right? Our lines want to move. Don't let them move. You're going to flex your abs. You're going to dip the toe back down. Right? You're going to flex your abs. You're going to pull it back up. If you don't engage your abs, your hip flexor takes the work. Right? This is where learning that core engagement becomes essential. Because I can let my abs go and just move my leg, right? And it's just my hip flexors moving. But my lines aren't straight. Everything's compensating, right? So we flex. We hold our lines long. We pull up. You can take an inhale, you can exhale, you pull in, lower down. I don't care how you breathe for this entire little sequence today. Just breathe, just think about your lines, right? Do one more on this side, and then lower. Now, next side, right? Reset, refind your lines, and then up, and then lower down. And then again, up, and then lower, right? So when you're here again, everything is long, right? Because I can notice how my right shoulder wants to lift up. So I'm gonna really work on trying to open my chest, right? Our bodies are smart. They wanna find the easiest path, right? To help us get the work done. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to work from our center, right? We're trying to work from the center to get the body to move. 2 more, 2, 1 more, 1, and then down. Now for some of you, you may want to repeat that. Right? Then from here, take your knees to tabletop. If this feels like it's too much pressure on your back, go back to that single leg. Right? Because if your lines aren't long, then we're just rebuilding bad muscle patterns. All right? So connect your abs, flex your abs, pull everything up, and then lower, and then lift. Right? If you have a bar, right, you can always place it on your hips. Right? If you come back and do this video again, up. Right? And then again, deep into lower, deep into lift. Right? So it's not a tuck under, so that bar's not going to roll to our belly button. Right? It's going to stay right across our hips. Right? That's creating that length in our spine. Right? It's respecting that natural curve of our back, or keeping our pelvis neutral, as we say. Right? Do 2 more. 2, and then up. Last one, 1, and then up. Right? Take your feet down. Then from here, I'm just going to hold on to my bar just to show you the line. Right? Or actually, let's use a towel. We all have a towel. Forgot I told you to grab a towel. Grab a towel. Right? So look at that line there. Make sure that line is straight. And then just curl up part way. Reach. Now look at those other little marks here. Right? Look at your hips. Look at your ribs. Right? Make sure they're straight. And then lower back down. Take another breath. And then again, roll up. Right? So all of the Pilates mat work, this is the foundation of the work. All of the equipment, it's just meant to help make our mat stronger. Right? Because as I notice here, where I'm like, yeah, you know, my hips are tight, my left hip, you know, I can tell that spot in my mid back is a little tight. So that's when I would go over to the Cadillac. We would take it into the rollback bar. We'd work that articulation. Right? We'd use some leg springs to help find that length through my legs. And then go back down, do 1 more. And then curl up. Hold it there. So deepen your abs. Now when you're here, make sure you're not pushing down, pull up. Hold it. Now let's see if we can lift our arms up. Reach up a little bit higher. See if you can reach up a little bit higher. Try not to rest down. And then lower back down. If at any point you have neck strain, just keep your head down, or you can just support your hands behind your head for this, for that little up. Okay, so arms reach straight up. Hold it. Everything stays square. And then come up. And then just reach that towel up to the ceiling. Hold it. Abs stay pulled in. Your box stays square. And then go back down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Up. And then lower. Last one. Up. And then lower. Now come all the way up to seated. Come up however you need to come up. All right, we're going to take our hands under our thighs. We're going to sit up tall. Right, so when your spine is straight, right, imagine that spring that I showed you. Crown of your head up, tailbone down. And then we're just going to simply curve that spring. We're going to curve our spine. We're going to deepen our belly. Right, so look at those same points. Make sure they're all on the same line, even though they're rounded. And then curl back up. Sit up tall. Open your chest. And then again, round back. Hold it here. And then curl back up. So all of these movements, this is what I take every single person through. the first time they ever do Pilates. And this is where some people, even though they may be incredibly strong humans, right, when they come back to these points, when you look, right, then all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, you can start to see the compensations. And then asking their own bodies to make those adjustments is really fucking hard, right? It's hard if we're always used to standing on our right leg, right, and our left side is weak, our right side is shortened. It becomes really challenging to find that length. And then curl back up. Now, we're going to see if we can go down and tap our low back down. If that is not going to work for you, you're going to use this mat here, right behind your low back. Right, so you're going to roll back, just find your spot for the mat, hold it, or find your spot for the towel. Deepen your abs, pull them in to come right back up. Come all the way up, sit up tall, and then again, round back. Right, so when there's tightness in the low back, which is a majority of us, right, it becomes essential to really start to work your low abs to help you curl back up. Right, getting that low back to articulate down. Because if we're always working past it, if we're just allowing our spine to thunk, 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 thunk when we go up and down, then we're not getting stronger, right? We're just continuing to then create those bad muscular patterns. So I'd always rather have you do it with bent knees than just to look impressive with straight legs doing it, right? Because whatever's going to make you stronger, that's what we're aiming for, right? Unless you're trying to look impressive for like, I don't know, your Instagram video for some likes. But other than that, there's no point. And then again, round back. There's not even no point for that. But anyways, I digress. So hold it there. Pull your abs in. Hold on as much as you need to behind your thighs. Pull into your abs. Inhale. Exhale. In. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Exhale. Now check your lines, make sure they're square, curl back up. If you do not need the towel there, take it away. If you need the towel, use it. Right? Then we're going to roll all the way down. Walk your hands down. Nestle your low back, mid back in. Make sure your lines stay long. Take a breath. On the exhale, curl up, ribs to hips. Shoulders square, crawling back up, sit up tall, and then roll back down. Today we're not even going to take our legs long, we're just going to stay here, making sure that we're moving evenly. One more. And then exhale, curl up, hold it there. Now grab a hold underneath, forehead to knees. We're doing this to help us open through our low back. So I want you to think every single Pilates exercise is meant to help us lengthen our low back. Right? Take a breath. Exhale. Pull in, forehead to knees. Inhale. Exhale. But in order to lengthen our low back, we have to use a lot of different muscles to do it. This was where the work is. Right? Forehead to knees, belly pulls in. Inhale up. It's like when I have people who ask me, like, give me low back stretches. I'm like, it's going to be a lot of low ab work. It's going to be a lot of core work in order to get those muscles to lengthen and stay that way. Right? Forehead to knees, and then inhale up. And then exhale, we're going to roll down. Take your towel, roll all the way down. We're going to place it right underneath our hips. Right? So think like right under your butt. What this will do is for those of us, when our hip flexors are really tight, it helps take the pressure off, right? So knees up. Right? If you were here at my home studio, I would just I'd tuck like a barrel underneath your bottom. All right, so when your knees are in tabletop, right, still again, your lines are long. I'm gonna end up with these little stickies all over me, right? Your lines are long, abs are in. Don't let those ribs pop. No flailing there. Then tap your left toe, pull it up. And then right. Now again, remember to flex your abs. Remember to pull up. Right? It's not just going through the motions, but how we do it. Down. Down. Right? And once you get this set, right, these long lines of the body, that's when all the fun, like Pilates, like glitters and sparkles, and we can become a unicorn when we do this work. right? But first, get this, right? Understand that box. Now, take your legs up. Hold it there. You may have noticed the moment your legs went straight, all of a sudden your back wanted to start to dump down, right? Still find that length, right? It's because our hamstrings and low back are connected. If this is too much for you, just go here. This is what's most important today, right? Then lower the legs to your point of control, right? If your shoulders and ribs start to pop, stop. Hold it. And then guide the legs back up. I don't care if your legs are parallel or turn out, right? Just focus on those lines. Down, hold, find your mark, and then come up, right? Your neck is long, so imagine that spring, right? Your spine is growing long. Think the crown of your head is growing to that wall, and then up, right? We're basically using our abs to help us lengthen our spine, right? We're using our legs as a lever to help us work deeper here, and then up. One more time. Go down. Now hold it there. Find that line. Ribs are in, abs are in. Hold for 3. You should have a little shake. 2, 1, and then legs come up. Right? If this was helpful, you can stay there for the 100. You'll just be here. Right? If not, slide it up. Right, knees are going to start in tabletop, right? Refine that line. All of it is long. Right, curl the head up. Eyes look at your belly button. Now legs go up. We're going to begin to pump from here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Then as you're moving, if you're like, yep, I want to challenge it, take the legs down. Right? If your box starts to move, stop. Inhale, exhale. Now the reason why our arms are pumping, right, is to help to warm our body up. We're creating a breeze. Now see if you can pump your arms up higher. It's harder up here, right? It's a little easier when we're down here. Exhale. See if you can take your legs down a little lower. If you start to lose your lines there, come right back up. Right? Remember the center is what's most important here. Inhale, exhale. Breathe. On the exhale, find that connection, right? Flex your abs. Pull up from the pelvic floor. 2 more. Last one. Now hold it, reach, bend the knees in. Right? The most common thing I hear from people on that is like, it hurts my neck. Right? I'm going to show you a little trick to help you get stronger there. Right? So think of those marks. I'm laughing at the little dots that are on me, right? I'll put them back in my rib cage, right? We're going to take this. We're going to place our towel right at, think of those points of where your ribs are, right? So it's about mid-back, right? Rest down for a moment, right? So this is where I've taught like some stretches, things like that to help you open, connect to your breath there. But we're going to use it to help us build abdominal strength here. Then from here, take your hands behind your head, curl up. Now when you curl up where that towel is, it should help kind of bump you up a little bit, where then you feel this connection. Hold it, breathe, and then go back down. So until this point gets strong enough, the work is going to go into your neck. So that's why we need to work this connection, right? Curl up, hold. Now when you're here, your neck is growing longer, so think. Crown of your head up to the ceiling. You're going to deepen here. Pull in a little bit more. And then go back down. Inhale. Exhale. Up. Keep curling up a little bit more, right? You should feel that difference of connection. Like I can tell I'm starting to dump on my left side, right? My left side's a little bit weaker. And so I have to really work to keep everything square to come up. And then go back down. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Come up. Hold it there. Now imagine that string connected to your ribs. We're going to go up for 5. But as we come up, our ribs sink in 4. In 3. In 2. In Let's do it again. Breathe in. And then exhale. Deepen first, pull up, curl up, hold. Now that little string is going to pull us up. 5. Pull us up. 4, 3, 2, 1. See if you can take your hands behind your thighs. Crawl the rest of the way up. Right, that same thing, slide that towel back a little bit just to our low back. Right, so roll down. Right, if that's your little sticky spot, this will help us kind of bump us up away from it. So you're going to lift the head up, deepen your abs, pull in here, curl up. Right, all of a sudden your back has something to press against to help pop you up. Right, so if you overuse, this is a tool that's just helped to build strength and awareness. If you become reliant on this, you're not going to become necessarily stronger. Right, so we don't want to use it as a crutch, we want to use it as a tool. And then again, pull up, pull in, and then come up. Right, this works great if you don't have access to equipment at home, which I'm assuming most of you don't have equipment at home. Right, roll down. Right, again, inhale. Exhale, pull in, right? It's giving you that towel to press against. To all of a sudden come up. Pull the forehead to knees. Inhale up, one more time. Long line, and then we're going to scoop. We're going to make that C curve all the way down. Right, then from here, slide that out. Right, and we're going to take actually bend, let's do single leg circles with our right knee bent. Right, so your right knee is going to bend, left leg is up, those same lines here. Right, so line here, line here, line here. None of them are going to move. We're just going to circle our leg, go across, down, wide, up, hold, and then again. So while you're circling, naturally our hips want to start to shift and move. Don't let them, right? So, right, that analogy of that bar, right up on the hips. Wide and then up. Do 2 more. 2, 1 more, and then reverse. Across, down and up for 5. 4. This stays connected. 3. So it's my abs that are pulling in to free my leg to move. 2, and then 1, and then switch. Next leg up. Right, hold it there. Now we're going to circle. Across, up 5, 4. Right, chest stays open. 3. Right, I can tell my bar was wanting to move. That hip was wanting to sink up. 2, 1. Now reverse. Right, especially wherever there's injuries in your body, there's compensations. Right, that's why I believe this work is magic, is it helps to point that out. Just doing mat work, just doing some of these simple exercises. You can tell my bar's moving. Last one. Up, hold, take the foot down, come all the way up to seated. We're going to do it rolling like a ball. Right, so we're literally going to try to become round like a ball. Let's start with our hands under our thighs. You're going to sit back behind your tailbone. It's that bony spot in your bottom. So you're going to round back. We're pulling into our belly. Right, so imagine that spring, right? We're going to float up. Just squeeze your heels to your butt to start. Your shoulders are wide, and then we're going to rock back. We're going to rock up. That round shape does not change. And then again, rock back, rock up. Right, naturally when we come up, some of us, our backs want to straighten, our feet want to slam to the floor. Don't let it. It means you came out of your abs. So deepen the abs, come back. And then come up. Hold. Right, again, do 2 more. 2. So this is where it's like Pilates becomes like play, where I'm just pointing out certain things like, can you keep that ball shape? Oh, is it hard? Okay. And then as you get that, if you're like, yeah, I got that. All right, let's see if we can make it harder. Heels to your butt. Elbows to knees. All of a sudden it's going to be like, uh-oh, can I hold my elbows to knees? Rock back, rock up. Ooh, not quite. Right, and then again, deepen, go back, go up, hold, right? We just continually keep pushing it to grow the movement, to grow the connection. Back, up. Then from here, can you take your hands, if your neck allows, right? We sometimes forget our neck is part of our spine, right? Can we tuck our chin to our chest? Can we keep that connection there? Can we squeeze our heels to our butt? Now can we do it? Rock back, rock up, ooh, hold, and then again, deepen your abs, roll back, sink into the low back. No, sink there to come back up, right? Woo, do 2 more, 2. Up, last one, back, and then up. Hold it, take the feet down. All right, we're going to take it into our series of 5, but I'm going to use a towel under our butt. All right, so lie down. We're going to slide the towel underneath our butt. All right, as you get stronger, you don't have to do this, but in the beginning it helps to build that awareness. Right, so the towel under your butt, knees to tabletop. We're going to keep our head down today so you can focus on your box. Right, we're going to reach our right leg out. Left knee stays right over that hip. Right, so think of that as one of those lines. It's not going to sink in. It's going to stay perfectly square. Now, abs are in, and then switch. Hold it. Switch. This is where if you have a mirror at home, it's really helpful. All right, switch. Switch. Now, breathe, connect, press. Press. Your legs aren't limp noodle legs, they're strong legs. Imagine like you're pressing away 500 pounds. Press. Press. 5 more. 5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3. Just reach through your toes. 2, 2, 1, 1. Now, knees come in. Find that tabletop again. Right? Reconnect to your square. Then press both legs out. Reach. And then pull. So imagine you're pressing away 500 pounds. You're going to use your abs. You're going to pull it back in. Right? So again, press. And then use your strength. Imagine I'm there pulling on your heels, resisting it all the way in. Some of you have had that feeling for me when I teach you. Right, where I have you press me away, and then I have you pull me back in. Right, do 4 more. 4, connect here, right? Because the moment you don't connect to your abs, the work goes to your back. 2, and we're trying to lengthen our back by deepening our abs. 1 more. 1, and then in. Now, legs up. Whatever your up may be. Scissors, right? So those feet are right over your hips. 1 leg down, the other one's going to stay straight up for today. Reach the leg long. Now abs deepen, leg comes up first, and then go down. So we're not going to do simultaneous yet. And then up, and then down. Now contract up, lengthen. So when you reach down, stretch, like you're reaching your leg right out of your hip. Right, so this is where leg springs are great. Right, reach, and then up. Often I'll have new clients come to me and then they just want to work on the reformer. They're like, no, I only want equipment work. And I'm like, why do you only want equipment work? They're like, well, isn't it harder? I'm like, no, it's not harder. Actually, the mat work is, the mat work is what is hardest, but the equipment helps us find the connections. Right, it's learning to connect first to what that connection, what that feeling is, and then moving from that space. Right, the movement in and of itself almost starts to become arbitrary compared to helping someone connect into those points in their body. Right, so the equipment's just a tool. And then up. Now hold it here. Now you're going to let one leg come towards you. If you can reach your leg, give it a pull. If you can reach up higher, give it a pull. And then switch, pull, switch, switch. Now when you're here, deepen your abs. So pull the abs in to get that leg up. Pull the abs in. All right, so as I'm pulling, just seeing how close my leg can get. Now, give that one leg a pull, hold it. See if you can keep the leg there, let go. Ooh, all of a sudden your low abs really have to work. And then switch. And then switch. So basically all we did here we just kind of curl that line of our hips up, right? So it's that little scoop in our low belly, switch. Or what some would call a little tuck under, switch, switch. Now get the abs to pull in, switch, switch. Now hold it. We're going to just tilt that little line there. We're going to tilt that curve a little up, right? Deepen your abs up. 5 more, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch. Next leg, so the leg is up. Deepen your abs in. So it's not momentum. It's literally just that scoop in my belly. Like I'm pulling those hip bones into my belly button. 5 more, 5, 4, 3, 2. Open your shoulders. 1, legs up. All right, come down. Take it out. Then we're going to take our right hand behind our head, left knee to tabletop. Box is long, right? Square here, square here. We're just going to be bending this line towards our knee, okay? Other arm is going to go long. You're going to rotate, you're going to pull it up, and then you're going to go out. And then again, rotate, pull it out. Do 3 more. 3, don't take that knee past tabletop. 2 more, 2, so we're not yanking it all the way in for today. We're just staying here. Last one, 1, and then out. Now switch. Next knee in. Then from here, rotate, extend. Rotate, extend. Now deepen. Pull in, reach. Pull in, reach. 1 more. 1, and then out. Now rock all the way up to seated. And we're going to take it into spine stretch forward. If your hips are tight, bend your knees, or like sit on like a little box, right? You can always do this even seated on a chair. All right, so same thing with that line, right? Think ribs to hips. All my little dots fell off, right? This line is long, right? We're going to keep it long on our side body, right? Everything's lined up from our hips, our ribs, our shoulders, and we're literally going to just begin to curl it over, right? So think that if you had a wall right behind you, if I were to take this bar, put it right behind me, my low back is going to stay glued to that bar. I'm just going to simply pull into my belly to then begin to reach forward. Just take your hands down beside you to start. So as I reach forward, it's not a forward fold. My low back stays there because, again, we're using our abs to open our low back. And then forehead is going to try to come closer to the knees, and then we're going to sit back up. We're going to sit up tall. Do it again. Breathe in. On the exhale, pull in, go forward. Belly deepens. Hands are down. Right, so keep your hands down beside you. Forehead towards your knees. Pull the abs in a little bit more, and then come right back up. Inhale again. Exhale. Right, so these lines are long. We're just literally starting to bend our upper line across our shoulders over. We're going to deepen our abs. Imagine that string pulling our low back to the wall. So we're not sinking back, we're reaching up and out of our hips. And then come right back up one more time. And then exhale. Pull in, go forward, and then come up. Now, imagine that strong, long line, right? If I had a bar right there, seated up against it, we're going to reach our arms forward. We're not going to let anything sink. We're going to reach our arms up, right? Can you still keep your spine long? Bend your knees if you need to, right? Hold it. Can you take your arms back a little wider, right? Are your lines staying connected? Are the ribs staying in? Can you reach back a little more? A little more. A little more. Open. Go all the way back. So hands are back as wide as you can, right? Or I'm sorry. And open your chest up as much as you can. Take your hands as wide as they need to in order to get there. Abs are in. Now, without sinking, lift up. So this is where that spinal length becomes so important and so challenging to do, is we're going to lengthen our spine up, right? And then again, arms up. Don't sink. Right? Imagine like you're holding a glass of water on your head. Circle back. One more time, inhale up, reach up, and then circle back, reverse that, go back, up, and then around. Two more, back, up, around, connect to your abs. It will help you to find that length, and then around. All right, we're gonna flip onto our tummy. Keep your towel. All right, we're gonna place our towel right in between, think your ribs and your hips, like in that soft spot. All right. So on your belly, the towel is gonna sit there, maybe like right across your belly button line, something like that. All right, forehead down. All right, so when you're here, all of that same box exists, right? Shoulders, ribs, hips. And when you're here, think of almost pressing your hips down to the mat. All of a sudden, you should feel some low back length. Because often when I'm here, and in classes, like I'll see people just only bending from their low back, right? Their butt pops up, they start to dump in their low back, right? And that's just recreating tightness that we just tried to work to open up, doing all of that core work. So we want to now continue to open it up and find length, right? So, legs long. If you press your feet into the mat, it's like magic. All of a sudden, your butt has to engage. It's not a grip, it's just an engagement. So if you reach your legs, imagine you pulling on your legs, planting your toes down, all of a sudden you start to feel your lower glutes, your upper hamstrings kind of start to connect to find length. Right, so reach, belly stays pulled in. Then from here, just see if you can reach your left leg up. I don't care if it moves like a millimeter, right? Or if it moves a foot, right? Two different modes of measurement, right? Just reach, lift, and then lower. Try to connect to your butt without moving any of those lines, right? If I were to take this and place it on my low back, right? I wouldn't want it to move. It shouldn't shift up and down or move side to side. All right, reach, reach, do two more. 2, 2, 1, 1. So find that reach. Now just prop up onto your forearms. So elbows are slightly forward, low back is long, chest is lifted. All right, so your palms are down, or you can just rotate your fists to the side. Belly is going to lift, so pull your abs up away from that towel, like you're pulling your low abs up into your low back. We're feeling our low back with our abs. Breathe in. And then exhale. Just deepen that connection. Pull up a little bit more. Reach your legs a little longer. Right, if I'm not engaged, I can just simply sink and hang out, but we're not doing anything there, right? We want to pull up in our abs. We want to reach our legs. We're opening our chest. Right? We're learning how to move our body, how to start to create that length by muscular connection. Hold it. Now breathe. Now we're going to see if we can kick our heel to our butt without shifting. Right? You're going to kick your right heel to your butt. 1, 2. Squeeze it in. And then switch. Left leg. Squeeze, squeeze. Switch. Right? It may seem easy in the beginning, but when you find that length in your back, and you're using your hamstring here as you squeeze in to actually help you open through your hip. Okay. And then squeeze, squeeze, switch, and then switch, and then switch. Now we're going to try it with both. We're going to lie down to start. Open your hands up to the side. So rotate palms up, forehead down. We're going to breathe in. And then from here, we're going to lift up. We're going to look to the center to start. Open your chest. And then switch sides. Now this time, breathe in. And then exhale, lift up. Open your chest. Don't dump in your low back. Belly stays lifted. And then next side, now we're going to add 3 kicks to our butt. We're going to kick 1, squeeze 2, squeeze 3, lower, lift, breathe in, and then switch. Next side, squeeze 1, 2, 3, lower, lift. One more time on each side. Squeeze 1, 2, 3, stretch the legs out, up, one more time, squeeze 1, 2, 3, lift, then take the hands out. All right, I'm going to take this off. We're going to sit back, quick little child's pose. Butt goes back to your heels. Right, forehead towards the knees. And then come all the way up on your side. We're going to use our towel. So again, that soft space between your rib and your hip. All right, if you have a wall, it can be helpful to line your shoulders and hips on a wall. Your legs come at an angle. All right, so that soft spot, all of us have a natural curve in our hip. Right? We have hips, we have a waist, we have shoulders, we have little dots on us. All right, so you want to find that length. So imagine when you're standing, right? When you're here, are your lines long? Same thing when you roll on your side. Can you keep those lines long? Your bottom leg's going to anchor, top leg is going to lift. Reach it. Find that length. This is where the work comes in to be able to find that length from your side body, from your shoulder here to your hip, right? So this line is going to stay long when I move my leg, right? Forward and back. Nothing else is going to move, right? So just imagine that analogy there. Forward and back, right? We're just testing how things move. Abs are connected, right? Do 2 more. So we're using our butt to move our leg. Bottom leg doesn't move. Right, so imagine if I were just standing on the floor, right? Sweeping my leg forward, sweeping it back, keeping everything long. 1 more. 1, 1. Now, same thing, the length here. Begin to lift up. Check your hips. Is your box square? Only lift up as high as you can with the square box. Like this is as far as I can go, keeping my box square. And then lower back down. And then again, up. Reach it, lower it, and then again, up, lower. Let's do 3 more. 3, reach, and 2, and 1. Now, 5 little circles. 5, 4, keep the lines. 3, 2, 1, reverse. 5, in order to keep the lines, you have to use your butt, right? That's why side leg work is connecting into your butt, right? Because that has to work hard to keep the lines. Now, 3 medium circles. Front, circle around. 5, or 3, 2, like I say it and then I forget it. 1, reverse. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's flip to the other side. So I want to make sure I have time for some standing arm work today as well. All right, so tuck this under your side. Right, but all of this stuff that I'm going over with you today, you can apply to any of our other videos that we have at Warehouse, or any of mine if you're on my, Brenda Pilates page. Same thing, take all of this, apply it to that. All right, so bottom leg anchors, top leg long, find that line. If you have neck tension, rest the head, and then sweep front, sweep back. All right, belly pulls in, and then back. Right, so naturally, as our leg goes back, our entire body wants to tilt forward, right? But there we're not creating that length with strength, right? We're just creating a compensation, right? So we want to learn how to work from here in order to move our bodies. Right, do 2 more. 2, 1, 1. Now stack your legs, reach it, lift it. Keep reaching it, lower down, right? The analogy, like I'm there pulling on your ankle to lift, and then lower. Like I can tell this side wants to rotate back, right? So if I were to have like a line, or if I would have like, say, glued like a little string to me, right? This side wants to keep tilting back, right? So this is where having something against my butt, if I were just to scoot up against the wall, right, that it would give that feeling of like, okay, where are my hips in space? Can I find that length? Can I lift it? Right, do 2 more. 2, 1. Now circle. 5. So on the circle back, right, notice what wants to happen in the hip. Try to self-correct. 2, 1, reverse, 5, 3, 2, 1. Now 3 medium, front, around, 3. Right, I can tell that hip is tight. It wants to sink up to my shoulder. I'm going to work really hard for my oblique to not let it. Now reverse, back, around for 3. Back, around 2. 1 more. 1. All right. Flip over onto your back. All right. A quick little pre-teaser. If your back is tight, just keep this here. Your low back's a little tight. If not, take it out. We're going to start with our left leg out, arms up. We're going to roll up as far as you can. Right? If this is your stopping point, you can hold. If you're able to come all the way up, just crawl up. Reach up, breathe in, and then crawl back down. Deepen your abs. So it's not gravity, it's your abs that are doing the movement. Up, lift, go down. 1 more. Up. Now hold it. Right leg up, left foot down, and then roll down. Come down, breathe in. And then again, I'm laughing because my hip was tight when I reached it up. It wanted to pull me back. And then go down. 1 more time. And then up. Hold it on the up. Let's see if you can take both legs up. If it's not going to work for you, keep your feet down. Right, remember what we learned. Find length here, find connection here. Hold. Right, if you feel you have the connection, reach. Now, roll down away from your feet. Don't let them move. Breathe in. And then again, pull in. Up. Roll up. Right, I can feel that little sticky spot in my mid-back. So this is where I would go and hop over on the Cadillac. Right, and hold on to that push-through bar to help give me that feeling, to help reach with that resistance away from it. And 1 more. Roll all the way down. Good. Bend the knees in. Come all the way up. All right. If you have light weights, grab your light weights. If you don't have light weights, no problem. You can do the same thing without. Look, I got little stickers on. Okay. Little stickers all over my floor. All right. So when you're standing, right, those points. Hips, ribs, shoulders, side body long. If you have a wall near you, you can always stand against the wall. It's not necessary for this part to begin with. Squeeze your heels together. Right, zip the inner thighs. If once your inner thighs touch, if your heels don't touch, just go back to parallel, right? Belly is in, side body long. Almost think of slightly shifting your weight towards your toes to get this scoop. Arms down, palms face in. Lift the arms up. Right, now it's important here when you lift up to not dump, to not shift. Right, to keep everything long. And then go back down. And then again, up. And then down. Belly pulls in. Nothing else moves. I promise you, if you engage your abs, if you pull in while you engage your glutes, your arms start to feel lighter. It's like magic. Right? Do 4 more. 4. There's science behind it, but we'll just pretend it's magic. 2. It's more fun to say it that way. Last one, hold it. Now keep your chest open, shoulders square, little circle. 5, 4, 3. Stand evenly on both feet. Reverse. 5. Don't let anything else move. 4, 3. Right? So your core does not move while you circle. 2, 1. Lower down. Now rotate palms to face forward. Belly up. Lift your arms up and then lower down. Right? Notice when you lift that some of us may tend to want to dump into our back. Almost think of shifting forward. Right? You're going to keep that long line. Just shift it towards your toes just a little bit. Up. Up. Chest stays open. Right? I can notice that my right shoulder is going to feel a little grumpy. It kind of wants to start to rotate forward. I'm going to work really hard to try to keep it square. 2 more. 2. 1 more. Hold it. Little circle. 5. Keep growing tall. 4. You have the imaginary glass of water on your head. Reverse. 5, 4, eyes up. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Now rotate palms up to the ceiling. Your chest needs to open without compensating in the spine. Arms up, arms down, right? Because naturally when our chest opens, right, keep moving your arms. When we open our chest, we tend to do this, right? That's not opening the chest. That's just pressing our belly forward, right? So when you open your chest, feel like there's like that bar, that string, stretching your collarbones open wide, right? Do 3 more. 3. Do 2 more. 2. 1 more. Little circle. 5, 4, 3. Pinky fingers up. 2, 1. Reverse. 5, 3, 2, 1. Lower down. Now palms come in front. This is usually when it becomes a shit show, right? Everyone starts to want to dump and compensate. You're going to reach just your left arm up. Reach, stretch out like you're stretching out of your low back. None of this. And then forward. And then reach. Up. And then down. Right? So imagine like you're painting a wall in front of you. You're going to reach. Right? I'm actually reaching from here. I'm reaching from my abs to get my arm to come up. Alright? My lines stay nice and square. Do 2 more. 2. 2. If you're a knee locker, soften your knees, my friends. 1 more. 1. 1. Now, both arms up. Reach up and then lower. Don't move anything. Reach and then down. And then again, reach. Stretch up. Now deepen your abs. Use your butt. Your butt will help you go down. 1 more time. Reach. And then down. Now we're going to try a circle. We'll see what happens. Right? We're going to reach up. And then we're going to open. Stay within your peripheral vision. And then come down. And then go up. Open. And then down. 1 more. Up. Open. And then down. Right, we're going to skip the reverse today. You're going to open your feet wide. So I want you to imagine, I want you to have these square hips. We're going to open up. We're just going to twist our upper body. Hips don't move. Back to center. Twist. Back to center. And then twist. Back to center. Right, if I were to put my little stickies back on. Twist. Back to center, except I think those are crooked. That's okay. Back to center. Now twist, and then we're going to reach towards our thigh. So it's not a collapse. Hips stay square. I'm literally just rotating my upper body. I'm going to reach. I'm going to grab my hip, and then up, and then I'm going to twist, and then I'm going to grab my leg. I'm going to pull back. So if I were against a wall, hips are here. Grab, up, twist, grab, pull in, inhale up. Then twist, grab, last one, and then twist, and then grab. All right, last one, open your feet wide. I thought I'd get some more hip stretches today. I didn't. We're just going to hinge from our hips. We're going to go down, right? So what I want you to do there, this long line, right? We're just pitching it forward. Take your palms down to the floor, right? If in doing that, if you're like, oh, my body doesn't bend that way, bend your knees, or take your hands here to your quads, to your shins, right? But we want the long line. This long line here, we're just simply hinging in, okay? Breathe in. Now from here, lift your chest up. Belly is lifted. We're just going to curl the spine up, eyes up, chest up. It's like a standing back extension. And then go back down. Scoop in, let your head hang heavy. Palms can press down to the floor. All right, just walk your feet in towards each other. Zip your inner thighs. And then we're gonna pull up. So imagine that spine stretch forward. We're gonna scoop here to help us come all the way up. Tailbone drops down. Belly pulls in, up, up. Where we're deepening here, up, up, all the way up. Whew. All right, I always have so much more planned than what I can actually get to. All right, so hopefully you all learned something today, right? So remember that box, right? Here, 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 keep it in alignment, right? Work from those points and just learn about twisting from those points, right? Whether we're doing side lateral movement, right? Rotation, flexion, extension, any of that. It all starts with those points, right? If you have questions, please ask. I love to help. You can leave them in the comments below. Yeah, so all right, love you all. Happy Friday. Happy early Mother's Day to those of you who are moms, whether you've had your own or helped raise others. So, all right, love you all. Bye.